Another game is now in the books for the Utah Jazz Summer League team, and now they played in Las Vegas for the first time. The rookies ended up putting on a little bit of a show, and the theme of this one was simply, every dog has its day. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Wraith Hoops. Go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications if you're into NBA content or if you're a Utah Jazz fan. And without any further ado, I'm going to break down this game. First, to address the Dallas Mavericks, they did their job for the most part. Obviously, it came down to a one-point game where the improbable hero of this one was none other than Kenneth Lofton Jr., who at the free throw line hit his first and missed his second to intentionally force them to take a long odd shot that eventually did not go down. However, for the Dallas Mavericks, they were surprisingly good. Jamarian Sharp was somebody that I had never heard of, but at the height of 7'5", it was interesting to see him start out the game against Filipowski and just see them battle it out a little bit. Now, he did end the game with 4 points and 6 rebounds, 3 of them being offensive, which was interesting. I didn't really have any preconceived notions as to how he should play, but Filipowski finally had his interesting game. Well, kind of. He didn't end up hitting a 3, but he only also attempted 1 3 today. He was 5 of 10. He started in the stead of one Walker Kessler along with Keyonte George, who have both been sat out for the remainder of what will be the Summer League as they still prepare heading up into this next coming season. But we got to see a lot from the young guys. However, on the Dallas Mavericks, the one person that did end up getting off was none other than Brandon Williams. He was 7 of 15 from the field. He was 2 of 6 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, but he did get held to 4 turnovers. He did lead their team with 21 points, though. Looking over at the Utah Jazz side of things, there was actually a lot to love about this one. Now, offensively, there were a couple of clunky points, more so in the middle of the game, because the beginning and the end, there was a lot of aggressiveness, there was a lot of decisiveness, and things just looked really, really good. But there was also those shaky moments. That said, I saw a lot more from guys that I really was hoping they would get their opportunity to showcase themselves, and they did their job for the most part. The number one Mr. What's Going On was Cody Williams, and today in 31 minutes he was 9 of 15 from the field. He was 3 of 6 from three-point range. He ended up having 3 rebounds, 4 assists. He only had 2 turnovers, and he had a total of 21 points that led the team. He had a box score plus minus of a +9, which was also the highest on the team, so that was very much enjoyable to see. I think that he was one player that we knew it was going to come together eventually. We saw him making the correct plays on defense. We saw him not being too bad on offense, but we also didn't see him being really, really good. And last game, he was poor. So this was a very nice rebound game. And this is his best game of the Summer League thus far, in my personal opinion. And I don't think that's a hot take at all. Taylor Hendricks did end up playing in this one, which I found to be a little bit interesting. But then again, Bryce Sensabaugh did as well, so it made sense. Now, Taylor Hendricks in 29 minutes was 3 of 9 from the field. He did miss all 3 of his 3-pointers, but he was 2 of 3 from the free throw line. He had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, which was surprisingly high, to go along with 1 steal, 3 blocks, which led the team, and then also team leading, surprisingly enough, 5 turnovers, which wasn't necessarily pleasant. But he did showcase some very interesting skills that I wasn't expecting, more particularly than anything, that extra pass that he was making, and more often than not, it actually did lead to a made 3 or a made bucket. He actually assisted one of Cody Williams' dunks where he kicks it from the right wing to the left wing. Cody pump fakes, jab steps, and then drives straight down the lane and booms on the center. It was a pleasant just showcase of those talents. Like I said, Kyle Filipowski, he only played 19.5 minutes today, but he was very effective and aggressive. I don't think I've seen this version of him in the rest of the Summer League games. I don't know if it was a by assignment kind of thing, or if he felt like he just had more so the green light because the likes of Walker Kessler wasn't playing and Keyonte George wasn't eating up too many shots, or maybe he just has a better connection with Isaiah Collier, who he shared the floor mostly with. He was 5 of 10 from the field. He did miss the 1 3 that he took, but I mean, I just really loved his play overall. He did end up having that 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block, and he just seemed to really be intentful and impactful when he was on the floor. Bryce Sensabaugh only played 12 minutes in this one and was 1 of 5 from the field. He did hit his 1 3 that he did take, but he was 0 of 4 inside the arc. He did end up nabbing 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and he only had 1 turnover. Total of 3 points. Box score plus minus was a goose egg. So Not much to grade on him for that part, especially since he only played 12 minutes. But, you know, Bryce has had better games. That's the simplest way to put it. He was caught sleeping on one particular backdoor situation where his man cuts from the corner. He got caught ball watching. He tried to tag the center even though he really didn't need to. And so his man just literally waltzed right past him and got a reverse lay off a dish from the point guard. So that wasn't ideal. But overall, it was just there. Looking at the bench, because I want to talk about Isaiah Collier last, Darius Bazley, chef's kiss, continues to impress me. Looking at him today, he looked taller than he actually is. He's listed as 6'8". He looked like he was 6'10" at one point during the game. I love that. He's very nimble on his feet. He's very good on defense. On offense, he was filling the lane perfectly. He was setting solid screens. He was where he needed to be. He got one of his 2 threes to go. One of them was from the right corner. Just splash that thing. Nice, smooth, held the follow through. I love to see that for him. Seeing him have a nicely impactful offensive night. Yes, he only had 9 points, but he also played 20 and a half minutes. So we know he can play defense really well, but him being able to play offense is also something that can help push him over the top. He did end up going 2 for 2 from the free throw line, which was nice. He also had 3 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with 2 blocks, and he only had 1 turnover. So I was pleasantly surprised by that, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Looking at Jason Preston, he played 13 and a half minutes, missed the 1 field goal that he took. He did have 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. He was just kind of there. Like I said, Kenneth Lofton Jr., 4 of 8 from the field, did miss his 2 threes, but he was 2 of 5 from the free throw line. One of those was an intentional miss, but still, nevertheless, he's not necessarily known to be a particularly great free throw shooter. He also had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and 3 turnovers. So a decent night for him. Nothing too crazy, nothing to grade super harshly, I wouldn't say. Very strong screen setter, and a lot of the buckets that he did make were very tough finishes at the rim. It's impressive to know that he's strong. We understand that on paper, looking at his build, looking at his weight, and understanding his numbers, it makes sense that he's strong. But when you actually watch him on the court and you watch him like straight bulldoze and walk somebody down to the rim and then finish while they're smacking on his arm, and the ref may or may not call that one, it's different. It's definitely different, but pleasant nevertheless. Tavion Kinsey got some burn today, and so did Keyshawn Justice, which were 2 players that I was expecting to play, but they made something happen. Kinsey was 4 of 6 from the field. He was 1 of 2 from 3. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, no turnovers, 9 points total. And then you had Keyshawn Justice with his 3 for 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. He also had 1 offensive rebound, and that was really all she wrote. But back to pivot to the front, all 3 rookies got off today. Yeah, Cody Williams, you had Kyle Filipowski, you had Isaiah Collier. They did what I needed them to do. Isaiah Collier, I really liked. Now, his efficiency wasn't great from the field today. I will say that. So there is a little bit of warranted criticism there. He played slightly less minutes than Cody Williams, 28 and a half. 513 from the field. Obviously, that's 38%. Don't love that. But he was 1 of 2 from 3, so I like that. He did hit his 1 free throw. He did hit both of his... He did grab 2 rebounds. He had 7 assists, which is the highest that anybody's had for the team this entirety of the Summer League. Which, granted, short games, yes, they're not the highest stakes, but for these guys, these are important games because these also stand as the basis to identify what you're good at and what you're not good at and what you may need to, get good at very quickly. So him just being able to nab those 7 assists while also putting together only 1 turnover. Mind you, he also had 2 steals and a block. Total of 12 points. Positive box score plus minus at +4. I like that performance. The only thing that I could not enjoy the most was obviously the efficiency, like I said. But most of those shots came with him driving downhill. A lot of those shots were inside the arc. Literally all but one of his misses were inside the arc. He only took 2 threes total. So I loved it. I loved his playmaking sense. He also was part of the reason why Kyle Filipowski was able to attempt 10 field goals to begin with. And then he also assisted with Cody Williams, who took the team high 15. So the rookies, all 3 of them ended up combining for the most free field goals, for anybody on the floor at 15, 10, and 13. I think that obviously Cody Williams stole the show, 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. 21 points, led the team by a wide margin. That's something to be happy about. But Kyle Filipowski finally putting together double digits was nice to me. And then you had Isaiah Collier setting his assist total the way that he did, just setting the tone, leading the offense the way that he did with such command. I loved it, and it's a very good, strong building block as they continue on further down the road into the Summer League. So, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Go and smash that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, drop a dono, and become a member of the channel for some more exclusive content and to catch these videos faster than anybody else. And without any further ado, it's your boy Wraith Hoops. As always, good morning, good evening, and good night. No matter where you're on the globe watching, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.